What's up, I'm Troubleshoot. In this quick guide, I'll be talking about everything you need to know when it comes to moving to the new season in Once Human, as there's a couple of important gotchas and things you need to do to prepare, otherwise you'll be caught off guard. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So as you're probably aware, most of the seasons have crossed into week 6 already, and you're able to transfer your loot to a brand new server and enjoy a new season. If we load into our game here, you'll get a pop-up like this telling you, hey, there's a new season, you can sign up, and this current server that you're in ends in 27 or 28 days. This is assuming that you're already on week 6. If we pause the game and click the Manibus Novice or whatever server you're on in the top right, you'll see exactly how far you are in your current season on your server. At week 6, a new dawn, you'll have 30 days or plus minus to pack up everything and go across to a new server. Otherwise, everything that you have will be transferred automatically across to Eternal Land, which is the place of keeping all of your content between different seasons for your character. That's great and all, but let's talk about moving to a new season. If you've reached week 6, then hey, you can click sign up right now in the bottom left and pick a new scenario to play. Here's a bit of a gotcha. These two on the far right, brand new content, brand new maps, are currently not available. The only thing that you can choose to do right now, should you wish to transfer to a new server, is either start a new game plus, we'll call it that. Currently, the game you're playing is on easy mode. If we choose Manibus, which is PvE, or Evolution's Core, which is PvP, this is the exact same content that we're currently playing right now, except on normal and hard difficulty. Keep in mind, we're currently on easy, so normal is a step up and hard is a much bigger step up. Obviously, the more difficult the server you're moving to is, the better rewards you'll get, and of course, the more challenging it'll be. Enemies will hit harder, your weapons will do less, but you'll get much better drops from different bosses and things like that. On normal, you'll see a small improvement, but on hard mode, there's a massive difference. A lot of servers are currently starting off as brand new and currently not open, and other ones that have opened earlier are almost full already. Essentially, when you come across this list, you'll see that certain servers are listed as open. These open servers can be joined by you, and you can play them immediately. These starting soon servers over here, you can sign up for, but you can only play when they reach their server opening time over here. It should be local to you, so for me, this one opens in a couple of hours. If we head across to page 2, you'll see even older servers, and some of these have been running since, well, let's say yesterday. These servers up here open on the 22nd, the 19th, 21st, 18th, etc. Just make sure to read exactly when servers are opening, as you'll probably want to join one that's already open if you want to start playing right now. The ones on page 2 and beyond are usually older servers, so you can join these and get a head start when it comes to being able to play right now, although you may have missed a day or two of progress. That's fine. If you choose to play the hard mode, make sure you scroll through here to see about the different challenges. Hunger and hydration are both changed to be much more demanding, which I already struggle with as I go AFK a ton. It's going to be even more annoying should you choose to play on the hard mode, but you get access to new things, such as over here. Your weapons will do less damage unless you pick certain modifiers to have on them for certain deviants, fights, etc. And scrolling down, you'll see different items unlocked at the wish machine that you can get blueprints for. Currently, these are the two available on this server over here. It'll be slightly different if you choose something else. For example, the server here has these two, this one here has the same. I think it just swaps between two different pools of items. These all seem to have either one or the other, whether they're PvP or if we choose PvP, yeah, these seem to be the same two items. They're just alternating for different servers. Anyways, if you choose to play on this new server, it's practically a new game plus. There's no new content when it comes to quests and things like that, as far as I understand, but everything that you do in the world will be a lot harder when it comes to just creatures roaming around, to boss fights, etc., better loot, and so on. That's great, especially if you have the time for a new game plus, but what if you don't? Well, this new content over here, The Way of Winter and Prismverse's Clash, is currently unavailable. These will be unlocked sometime in the future between September and October, hopefully. The PvP game mode, Prismverse's Clash, should be available mid-September, and The Way of Winter hasn't been officially announced with a release date. Well, neither of these have, but this one's more on the fence. This seems to be coming in late or mid-October. so about a month after Prismverse's clash. Currently, I can wait 30 days on this current server and just keep grinding out my existing quests, grinding out better items, and doing everything I should be doing before I transfer to a new server. But of course, you could transfer now to one of these two over here that we're currently already playing. I can wait for 15 to 20 days to play Prismverse's clash, and then after that play The Way of Winter if I'd like to see new content, and I think that's what I'll mainly be aiming for here. But it does seem like if you start one of these two over here, midway through the season when the new content unlocks, these new other seasons over here, you should be able to pick up and migrate, even though you're only halfway through the season, but I'm not entirely too sure on that. Make sure to do double checking and due diligence before you commit to a new season and you get locked into it. Personally though, I'll be waiting. What happens if you want to play with your friends? Well, if you already know, when a server has enough registrations on it, not just concurrent players, new players can't register to play on it, and it's pretty much full. A lot of my friends have been locked out of a server, so I moved across to a new one. Some of them were left behind, and it's really just a huge mess. What I'd recommend you do here is get your friend group together and wait until everyone is on week 6. Then head across to sign up and all join the same server at the same time. This way, everyone is together. The newer the server, the more slots are available, such as plenty of slots here, and when you all join the same server, you'll be able to enjoy progressing together, of course. If you're playing solo, then probably join the earlier server if you want to stay up to date with the latest content. That is, of course, up to you. I did mention that playing one of these New Game Plus experiences is going to take you through everything again, but there's actually one catch to it. When you click it, you'll see a pop-up like this saying Task Mode. You can choose between Simplified and Complete. If you choose Simplified, you'll be able to skip over dialogue and things like that with the main important characters. Complete takes you from the start to the end in the story. If you choose Simplified, you can just progress by completing different cities and completing the rift anchors, and you don't even need to speak to the main characters to progress. This is what I'd recommend, especially if you've already played through the normal game. New Game Plus is the same stuff. Currently, you can only play up to the third boss, which was Araxium, or however you say it. It's the spider. Obviously, new bosses will unlock as the weeks progress, as they did before. So again, this is New Game Plus if you choose Manibus or Evolution's Call, and it's not actually new maps or content really. Now, before you actually pack up and go, what exactly do you need to know? Well, when you choose to sign up for a new server and transfer to it, everything on your character and most of the things in your world should be able to come with you. What I'd recommend is to be absolutely sure you're taking everything important with you. Grab your calibration blueprints, your weapons and things like that you want to transfer from different boxes around your base, and make sure they're on your character even if you're overloaded. That way, when you get across to the new world, it'll open up a screen that says you've inherited your different resources, all of your energy links left over will be converted to astral sands, so you can customize Eternal Land, build in it, etc. And the other things are brought with you, such as Starchrom, for example. Obviously, different resources will be destroyed and not taken with you. All of these here are specific to this current season on this current server, so it won't be transferred to a new one. For example, one of the things that you'll see missing here is all of these mimetic specializations, such as the solar drill, extra backpack space, etc., and of course cards to get around the map. If we open up our mimetic screen with O, head across to the mimetics on the far left, followed by specialization, these over here you'll be losing. For example, backpack expansion, I can't craft one of these and take it across to a new season, as all of my mimetic specializations will be reset and re-randomized, so I won't have the same options as I did before. So don't bother creating yourself a solar drill or anything like that, as you won't be able to take it with you anyways. What I would recommend, however, is creating as good gear as you can right now. For example, the advanced electric rock drill and the advanced logging chainsaw you can take with you, and they're relatively cheap, and they're going to definitely speed up especially your early game progression, which is super important. Everything over here or in your entire inventory is going to cost some of the new currency in order to bring across to the new server. Everything you have is going to be taken across to Eternal Land completely for free, but if you want to transfer it from Eternal Land to your season backpack, it's going to cost you a couple of points from your 20,000 point pool. Currently, I can't show you as I haven't moved to a new server, but if we head across to backpack, you'll see this section over here, the Spacetime backpack. This is Eternal Land, and we can transfer items to our season backpack using these points over here. You get around 20,000 of them. When you go across and start a new season, your backpack will fill up everything here, so you can take items out of it, etc. The price for different items changes depending on their rarity and things like that. This, for example, a golden calibration blueprint is going to cost me around 1,000 of my 20,000 budget, so we don't really get too much that we can take across. Don't bother taking across ammo, wood, or other resources. Only take across the things that matter. For example, maybe portable fuel or premium fuel, your rock drill and logging chainsaw, which will cost 2,500 for the logging chainsaw and 3,000 for the rock drill, maybe the other way around. And of course, you could choose to take across a weapon, some other gear and things like that. I wouldn't really recommend doing so unless you've got absolutely crazy rolls that you just can't get rid of. Rather, take across just your calibration blueprints, as when you get across to the new season, you'll still be able to craft everything you have unlocked in your current blueprints, as these aren't wiping. For example, I can craft the same rifle as soon as I get to the workbench tier 3 by progressing in the new server, so I can craft myself a tier 5 weapon, for example. Then I can calibrate it and use all of my points on that. That way you don't need to waste points bringing across useless items or items that you can recreate on the new server. Things that give you a huge advantage like the rock drill and chainsaw are absolutely worth it, but that is of course all up to you and what you see necessary in your new server experience. Things like your controllers over here you can actually take across to the new server, which I didn't think was possible, but it seems like a lot of people have been able to take across controllers. This is something I would recommend bringing, as it's going to maximize the loot that you can get from dungeons and things like that around the world. It's absolutely worth it, or at least in most cases. Everything else is entirely your preference. You can see exactly what will be taken with and what will be left behind in the in-game screen if you head across to the current phase or season that you're on, followed by season info at the very top. You'll see info about signing up, what exactly will be taken across to the new season, etc. I'll move across so you can pause it and read it if you wish. Here's the very top, and at the very bottom we have this here as well. Scenario features just talks about what the current scenario is, all the different deviants and things like that, and that you can also see from the moving screen. If we choose sign up, you'll see everything that's offered by the different worlds in the scenario features list over here. Obviously, no new content, it's just New Game Plus, but when we get to the Way of Winter and Prismverse's Clash, we'll have tons of new content. Okay, so now that we know how transferring loot works, it happens as soon as we go across to the new season, what do we need to do to maximize our returns? The first thing you should definitely not forget to do is head across to your resident filter and find out when the next purification limit reset is. For me, it's in 6 days, but for you, it may be a couple of hours. You should absolutely maximize the amount of Starchrom you can collect from your current world before you go across to a new one, as everything that you don't do here is going to cost you on the next season, as you just will miss out on the opportunity to get that kind of thing. If we head across to Escape, followed by the season in the top right, then at the very top, the season goals, followed by season shop. In the extreme top right once more, we'll have Starchrom Exchange, Starchrom Crates. In here, you can use your energy link balance, which you can easily get by collecting salt and selling it at vendors and things like that, which you can then purchase boxes of 500 Starchrom each. In total, you can get around 4,000 Starchrom, which is huge, and I definitely recommend grinding through this as it's absolutely worth it. You'll lose the opportunity to grab all of these as they're only available on week 6. So maximize your profit now and take it across to the next one. The same is to be said for completing your quests here and grabbing all of these Starchrom from here as well. It's absolutely worth it. Then, before your building is deleted, mine is obviously not too impressive. This is the 3rd server I've played on, so that's the reason. Head across to your build menu by hitting B, right-click, and then choose House Blueprint at the very top. Save your current house as a blueprint by clicking Add Blueprint, save all, and give it a name. Just like that, your world should be saved here, and you'll be able to place down your blueprint in the next season. Just like that. You can plonk it down, and everything you have is set out in the world. You can build it as time goes on, etc. You can also save your friends' blueprints or other people's around the world. Simply run up to their base, add blueprint, and you can choose to save a single building. Right-click or click on the building to save, then hit F, and you can save it as whatever you'd like in your inventory. You can have up to 10 different drafts saved. Keep in mind, in order to save a friend's base as a blueprint or anyone around the world, they'll need to hit U, followed by the Friends tab over here. They'll need to find you, right-click you, choose friend permissions and enable the building over here. So choose allow or enable, and now you'll be able to open up the blueprints menu and copy your friend's base. They'll need to do this for you, otherwise you just can't copy their blueprint. Of course, you can turn this off afterwards, but just keep in mind you'll need to turn on building permission for other people in order for them to save your current buildings as a blueprint for themselves. Of course, if you choose to bring across your weapons, such as a sniper or a rifle, you'll need to be a high enough level in-game in order to use them. Previously, you may have picked up items that you couldn't use as you need to be a certain level. It'll be exactly the same here. If you take your end-game weapons, it's going to cost you a lot to do it, but of course, you'll also not be able to use them at all. Instead, just craft brand new ones from your existing learned blueprints, as those will be carrying across with you. All of your deviants, such as these ones over here, make sure you head across to them and hit U to pick them up, withdraw, and once you have, they'll be in your inventory, so you can take them across to the new world. If you hit I and head across to deviants, you'll see all of your collected ones over here. If you have one of these put down in a friend's base, for example, make sure you pick it up before you move, otherwise it may be left behind. And that's pretty much that. Keep in mind you can still use broken methods of gaining XP and of course energy link or other currency on the new server, as there's still a ton of things that haven't been fixed or are in the game by design. For example, if we head across to the southeast side as soon as you're level 5 or however soon you can do it, getting access to this area over here, you can head across to the beach in the far southeast and grab yourself a ton of seawater. Head across to your electric furnaces if you're able to put those down, or electric stoves rather. Otherwise, you may just need to do it in a default normal stove, open it up and craft yourself up some salt. This will give you a ton of XP and you can easily get your way through to level 50 or whatever the level cap will be in a very short amount of time. It's absolutely worth doing a method like that to cheese your progression, especially if you're just doing a new game plus. It's really worthwhile skipping through a lot of the grinding just so you can get back to where you were previously, use your end game weapons and things like that, even maybe in week 1. Anyways, there's tons of exciting stuff. I personally won't be transferring as it's just a new game plus. Having extra hunger and things like that doesn't sound the best, but of course, getting new gear, or rather better gear, is always enticing. I think I'd rather wait for new seasonal content, a new map, etc. And of course, I'll be covering everything on my second channel, troubleshoot basics such as completing quests, finding hidden items, like the painting puzzles, mysterious chests, and things like that. So if you're interested in following the new map content when that eventually comes out, make sure to subscribe to that channel, which you'll find linked down below, as it'll be absolutely worth it. Anyways, hopefully you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.